Yeah, so I was watching this thing recently about this guy
Hmm.
who's just a normal man,
Yeah.
and then one day he thought that he'd had a heart attack, got checked, and then they said that he was fine, but he still thought that he had a heart attack, and he thought that he was dying.
You thought he was dying, not
Yeah,
dead, but dying.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So he said the night before, I think it was, or something, or he said that he'd had a really bad headache,
Yeah.
and I don't think that he got checked properly for it or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
hang
so
on. Did he have a heart attack or he
he
had a heart attack but and a headache?
yeah, so he said to the doctor, I've got a really bad headache, and I don't know what it is. So they gave him all these checks, and
Yeah.
they thought, no, you're all clear, you're all fine. But
Mm.
even though they told him that he was all fine and everything, he thought that he didn't think he actually he knew he it was like he was positive that he'd had a heart attack and that he was dying.
So the doctor said he hadn't had a heart attack.
Um,
So the doctor said he'd had a heart attack, or what? What did the doctor say? Or that doesn't matter.
he said to his wife and he said to the doctor that he was having a heart attack. He thought he was dying,
Yeah.
and then I think he thought that he was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He thought
after
that
a
he was
while.
dead. He thought that he's dead.
But before this, he was starting to do weird. He
Strange.
started
Yeah.
acting strange. So
Yeah.
he never looked at his wife. He never took any medicine or anything. He was
Mm.
just he said and when people tried to give him medicine or help or
Mm.
anything, he said he knew that he was dead.
So he's talking to people, but he wasn't really. He's behaving strangely. Is
Yeah,
this what you're
he
saying?
wouldn't take any medication or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, what what this was he'd actually had a stroke. So he'd had a
And a
stroke.
stroke it affects your brain, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
he'd
Yeah.
had a stroke in his
Yeah.
in his brain,
Uh,
and yeah, he told the doctors this. They gave him a brain scan,
mm.
and as I said, they thought it was all clear. But
Yeah.
what they didn't know, basically, is
Mm.
that he'd had a very small stroke in his
Mm.
prefrontal cortex, and what it is with a stroke is basically it's just like a lack of blood
Yeah.
to the front of your brain,
Yeah.
and so this guy basically the bit that was responsible for him knowing, so the bit in the front of his brain
Yeah.
that's responsible for him knowing that he's alive and
Okay. Right.
conscious,
Yeah.
like I'm me, I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
alive and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
everything, that had like basically died.
Oh God. So the bit of him that was responsible for
His own
like, his
self-awareness and
own
everything,
self-awareness, the stroke had damaged it or
it
destroyed it or
pretty
whatever.
much
Yeah.
destroyed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that meant he didn't feel like he was alive. Is that right?
It wasn't that he didn't feel like he was alive. He like was certain that he wasn't
He's
alive.
certain that he wasn't alive. But
So
the strange thing about that, from what we've already said, though, is that he was, people are coming up to him and asking him for things and saying, did he want tablets and did he
yeah,
want this, that, and the
you
other,
you
and he's still able to reply to
it's
them.
it's strange. It's really weird.
It's like a paradox.
You, you,
You're dead, but you're still doing things that a living
so
person would do.
so the thing is when people were talking to him and
Mm.
everything, he just thought that it was voices of the past or something like that.
Oh, right.
They
So
were just
so
they were
like
they were just memories or whatever. So that's why
uh,
he wasn't looking at everyone in the face. He wasn't. He wasn't talking to people.
Oh, so
So
it's just kind of reacting as he might in a dream, like he
yeah,
wasn't really thinking they're real people.
his
Yeah,
behavior got weirder and weirder. So
yeah,
he
yeah.
started doing things like just going like into the basement and just spending hours and hours by himself, just staring straight and not doing anything. And something that I actually found this a bit similar to
Mm,
was this thing with I don't
yeah.
I thought it was a little bit similar. It
Mm.
was the I don't know if you've heard of, I think they're called these zombie ants, or maybe just normal.
The
I'm not
zombie
sure.
ants? No, I've never come across those.
But they what
What are
they
what are
do
what are, what are
what they
zombie
do
ants?
is
Yeah.
they I'm not fully sure, but basically what happens when they die, they let off this kind of acid, or what's it called
Mm.
again?
Oleic. I saw that.
Oleic
Yeah,
acid,
yeah,
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 when they die.
yeah.
So then the ant colony, they go and bury the person that's
With
died
the ant that's died.
in the ant graveyard.
Okay, yeah.
So this person that was alive, no, this ant that was
Well,
alive,
ants can be alive. Yeah. This
they
ant that was alive
he when they're dead,
when
when
they're
they're
dead.
dying
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
rotting and
yeah,
everything,
yeah, yeah.
and that was put on him, and
Oh,
it's
it's
not.
put on him.
Yeah, it was put on the alive ant.
Oh, right. I see. So
So
it's put on a live ant. What, by another ant or?
by a human, I think.
Oh, right. So
So
a human put on this
oleic acid, yeah,
oleic acid on an ant
yeah,
to make the ant think it was dead.
yeah.
Oh, right.
So
Okay.
all
Yeah.
the ants carried him to the graveyard, and he just accepted his fate, and he thought that he was dead.
As far as we know, yeah. I
So,
mean,
but then after a while, he took off this oleic acid, and he just went back. He washed it off himself, and he thought that
oh,
he was
right.
all right.
So there's this chemical that makes the ants feel like they're dead.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
would that work with us if I put oleic acid on myself?
I don't think so.
Okay, right.
So,
but it's a similar thing you're saying. Yeah, it
yeah.
is. It is a similar thing.
So but with this guy, I thought it was kind of similar with
Mm-hmm.
this guy. So, yeah, his behavior got weirder and weirder. People were offering him medicine, as I said, and he
Mm.
stopped eating. He got really skinny,
Well, he
and
wouldn't need to eat if you're dead, would you?
yeah, people would offer him medicine and everything. And he said, why would I accept this when I'm already dead?
Yeah, yeah. I've got a question though. Why, if he thinks he's dead and people are offering him food and he doesn't want it and this, that, and the other, I still don't quite understand how he thinks he's interacting with people. He's talking to them and they're not.
I don't
You know, I
know.
mean, why? You know,
And actually, there was a name for this syndrome. What's it? Hang on, I've
was it
got the name.
catalepsy? No.
I think it's called Cortad's syndrome.
Oh, Cortad syndrome. Okay,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I've not heard of that.
So
Because I know. I'll just say,
the,
one thing I know that's similar maybe is catalepsy, where people like appear to be dead, and that's like, so somebody can have this thing where they look like they're dead and and in the past that's led to people being buried alive.
yeah.
But
Well, that's another thing.
that's it, because that's their body.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about the mind, aren't you?
Yeah. So with this guy, he was yeah. There's only 200 cases of this happening with this guy worldwide.
Oh, right.
With anyone
With Cortad syndrome,
ever. Yeah. I think it's called
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So they kept on taking. So what was your question?
Well, okay, I've got a question now, which is, okay, so this man, thought he was dead, and he's interacting with people and stuff, and it introduces quite a weird thing. So, according to what you've told me, and what I know about it from what you've showed me as well, is that okay? So this is somebody who thinks he's dead. And the damage to his brain, it destroyed that bit. That
It
sense
was
of,
so yeah.
what did
So
it destroy? The
so
sense of
a way to explain it is like, as I heard in the thing, it's like it wasn't he thought he was dead. He knew he was dead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
if someone told you to jump off a cliff,
Yeah. Yeah.
you wouldn't jump off a cliff because you know that you're gonna
Yeah. Yeah.
die if you
Yeah.
jump off
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
cliff. So
Yeah.
to him, it was the same. Okay, so quick change of location.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Another car.
you
Yeah.
had an interesting idea.
Yeah. Well, what I thought is what's most interesting about this case and this, what is it called? This syndrome, Courtault's syndrome.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, is where you've got the bit of your brain in the frontal lobe, you said, which makes you feel alive, and if that's destroyed, you think you're dead. And that introduces an important question: is if you think you're dead, that's your sense of being alive has been destroyed, but he still retained his
Well,
consciousness of being something. Did
what
he?
it what it what
I
it,
don't
what it
know.
was his. It wasn't his full frontal cortex that had been destroyed. It was
Yeah,
just a bit of his frontal cortex.
yeah,
And what it was it was so small,
yeah,
it wasn't showing up on brain
yeah,
scans.
yeah, yeah.
So and people weren't trained to know what it was that he had. So I think they had to have like an extra, what was it, I'm not sure,
An
some
extra
S
MRI scan
S. I'm
or
not sure what it is.
SM,
Well,
yeah,
whatever.
scanning, SEM, scanning electron microscope,
Yeah,
yeah,
they had a very very close look on the very like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
inside of his brain, and they could see a very very small um, stroke that he'd had.
yeah, yeah,
So what? Here's an interesting question that I
yeah,
did have.
yeah,
Is this man knew like it was a fact. It wasn't. He knew that he was
yeah. It
dead.
wasn't an
So
opinion. It was just it was what he
here's
felt very definitely.
here's an
Yeah,
interesting question. What if it was the other way around and we're alive, yeah,
yeah, yeah. We're alive.
but we're not actually alive?
Ah, yeah. Well, there you go. You see, that's the thing. You see, maybe we've got a little fault in us, which makes us think we're alive. Yeah, that's true. But I mean,
Because here's the thing.
hmm,
I'll just say,
hmm,
in this man's mind,
yeah,
it was right. It was right because
that he's dead. Yeah,
his body was telling him, because that part of him saying that you're alive, it
hmm,
wasn't there. So in his mind, it was true that
hmm.
he was dead.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well, he's dead.
and a thing that he did, he he cut into his arm
Hmm.
to check to see if he was alive, and he said, "That's funny. I'm dead, and there's blood running out. That shouldn't be
Mm.
right." He
Hmm.
was saying.
Yeah. I mean, that
So
sounds a bit strange, though, as well. That you can think you're dead and still think it's okay to be moving around and stuff. But as I think you said before, is in a way it's like a dream or like seeing ghosts for him. This his existence. But it does kind of say that you've got a sense of being alive and you've got a sense of being which are separate, which is
yeah,
very interesting, I'd say,
yeah,
because
and it was like his memories.
mm,
He saw everything as everyone and everything just like a memory from the past.
yeah,
So what I think is an interesting thought, we
to
maybe
finish
to
up, yeah,
finish
yeah,
on,
yeah, yeah,
is maybe
mm,
we're just alive. We think we're alive, but
mm,
maybe we're not. Maybe if you could swap it the other way around, it
mm,
could be like him. We could be like him, thinking that
yeah,
we're
yeah,
alive, but we're
yeah.
not.
And that's basically going back to that old thing of saying that we're all living in a simulation, the
Simulation, yeah,
simulation of being alive. Yeah, maybe. But personally, I just think it's something that's very weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.